Welcome. This will be our first video to YouTube. We're doing a two-person review on two separate beers tonight. I'll be doing the Lawson's Double Sunshine with Grapefruit, which is an exciting new beer. It came out a couple months back, but it's exciting because me and a few others are big fans of the regular double IPA, and this one's got a little bit of grapefruit behind it, so we'll see how that does. And the Bearded Angler.
And I'll be doing the Equilibrium Harvester of Simcoe. It's a double IPA. I have not tried anything by them, but everything I've read is pretty good, so we'll give them a good, honest go. See how it is.
Now they're after doing research on them, it looks to be that they're big on the citrus type IPAs. You said they were out of New York, correct?
Yep. So they're out of Middletown, New York. I believe everything that I've heard so far has been, it's got taste of pine and berry, so it's gonna be kind of like your Lost Art. They had a pine brew.
They were
kind of. What's that?
Lost Art would be out of
that's
Jeffersonville or no? Up near Jeff?
It's up near Stowe somewhere, I believe.
I think it's a town or two away near Jeffersonville or somewhere in that area in Vermont.
Yeah, and so they claim it's supposed to taste of berries and a little bit of pine, so it must be some of that resin, I'm honestly not sure. I mean, Simcoe is, as a rule, kind of a little bit more on the heavier side, so should come through. I'm not sure if it'll be more of a lemon, that kind of lemon resin taste. Like I said, I haven't tried it. I actually haven't even tried anything from Equilibrium, but
review.
So I guess we'll give it a pour and see how it is. This is coming in at 8.8%. We're gonna give it a pour. We'll look at the color. And the Littletown Brews glass. Good folks there. Wow, look at that head.
To me, that looks like a dark, almost like a lager.
That looks very much like a lager to me. Let me try and get a little more in here so we can kind of see the color, hopefully. There you go. Yeah, so very much.
Oops, sorry. How's the scent coming out of the can?
Very citrusy, and definitely it's coming across citrusy to me. I can see where they would say piney. I'm getting it off the nose. You get in the right light here. It's very, very cloudy, like that wicked, like a lager on steroids almost.
Yeah. Does it have floaters in it or anything, or?
What's that?
You got any kind of floaters or anything like that, like the citrus floats?
No, it looks pretty clean overall, honestly. Just very. You can't look anywhere through this glass. No. To see light coming through it is pretty tough, even. So we'll give it a little go. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of the berry. What they described as berry with this, I absolutely get that. So far, I haven't hit any notes of pine yet. Overall, honestly, it tastes pretty good out of the glass. We'll give a little swig out of the can. It's about the same, honestly. Pour it into glass versus a can. Very drinkable. Almost getting a malty note on the end of it.
I was just going to carry through if it went all the way through or changed at the end there.
Pretty much level all the way across. Like, I didn't get any off notes or anything. The one thing I will say at the end of it, gets almost a syrup, like a maple syrup, that sweet taste on the end, maybe like a maple candy on the very end of it, like a very sweet taste on the far end. Kind of levels off berries, maybe a little bit of pine. Really pretty good, honestly. I mean, I really don't have any complaints other than, you know, maybe a little bit more. I'd like maybe a little bit more on the pine side, some of the rosin and stuff like that. I think that might make it a little more interesting. You know, almost like you think about like a gin, you know, you have your herbs and stuff like that mixed in.
You had to give that a rating 1 through 10. What are you going to give it?
I'd say a solid 8.5, really. I mean, I have no complaints. As everyone else has described this as, I say the same, a little bit of pine, definitely get the berry, and then right at the end, I get like a maple candy, kind of very sweet after you've finished swallowing it. So definitely very pleasant. Like, this is something that someone who's not a big hop head like us, you know, is someone interested in getting into the worlds, especially of getting in the worlds of IPAs. And this is a double. This is a double IPA.
So it's good. Might be a good starter beer for somebody that's looking to broaden their horizons, get away from just store bought.
Absolutely.
Try something different and new.
Yeah, and I mean, overall, you know, it drinks very smooth. You know, damn close to Pilsner, lager, anything like that. You know, it's not. There's no harsh bite to it at all. Like I said, right on the tail end, very sweet. So I like it. I have no complaints at all.
We say we check this out.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So I didn't mention it before, but I'm red. And this is a double sunshine from the good people up there in Waitsfield, Vermont at Lawson's Finest Liquids. Except this one, it's got the ruby red grapefruit in it, so it's not the normal one like I mentioned earlier. And I didn't catch what this one was for alcohol. I didn't check it. Don't remember now.
It must be somewhere around 7, I would imagine, huh?
8%.
8%.
Yeah, it's a double. It's 8. Right off the top, you get the normal double sunshine, sip of sunshine type of smell. It's got that citrusy smell like you'd expect. There's no real sign of grapefruit from the smell. Anybody's ever had the normal one, it literally cracked the same. It's no different as far as that goes. However, this one, I believe, is a brighter orange color.
Yeah.
But so oranges, it's not, I think, smell less as I've had the regular double sip, or double sunshine rather, but I think that's more of a citrus color, not such a bright dark orange, well, darker orange like this one is. So.
Looks good from here. Nice head on it.
Same as the can, it doesn't smell much different. But it does have does seem to have a little bit of citra in it. You can see kind of floating around a little bit here and there. It's not horrible, but it does have a little bit of floaty in it. This one is a little bit different. So the original, whether if you had it or you haven't, it's real citrusy, more close to, I want to say, an orangey tasting double IPA. So it'd be straight up citrus. This here, you can taste the grapefruit in it. It's not like it's hiding anywhere. And I mean, this one's right up front. I did have one of these before, truth be told. I've had this once before, and the last time I had it, you could taste the citrus, and then the grapefruit snuck in behind it. But this one seems to be a little bit different. I don't know if it's the way I poured it, or if this one's been rolled, or because this one was actually laying on its side in the fridge. I don't know if it mixed everything up different or what happened, but this one does taste different than the last one I had.
Is that a good different? Do you like the grapefruit forward, do you think, or?
This way here, it's all the way through. Way before, as you get the double sunshine taste, so it's nice and citrusy, and then the grapefruit come in behind you and just about punch you in the jaw. And it's not, I mean, I don't mean that like a bad thing, but it was just an instant flip of flavor.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no smooth transition. It was just, you're drinking orange and suddenly it's grapefruit. But
yeah.
I don't know if the can's been rolled, or, I mean, I've had it for a couple of days in the fridge, so it's been laying on its side, and I moved it around, jostled it around, so I could have mixed it.
Yeah, stirred it up a little bit.
And a couple of weeks ago, could have been just sitting in the fridge and in a rack and settled like this, so all the stuff settled to the bottom. And the biggest thing about these things is they tell you everything sells to the bottom, so.
Give it a little roll. Nice little roll on the table.
I guess it all depends on how you want to drink it, I guess. I mean, me personally, I drink it the other way, where it's settled to the bottom more or less, because this here, the way the grapefruit hits you in this one is a little bit stronger. I'm accustomed to having a grapefruit with a little bit of sugar in it, and this is raw grapefruit.
Yep, right up front.
I will say the bigger sip is not so bad.
Get it past your tongue a little bit instead of like a quick sip, sort of.
Yeah, where we're trying to just test for the flavor if you actually drink it like you normally want to.
Yeah.
So bad. You give it a guzzle, it's not horrible.
Yeah, that definitely makes a huge difference too. Just like a whiskey or anything like that. If you let it sit on your tongue, you're going to get a lot of different notes versus just down. You might get one, maybe two notes right off as a rule.
Yeah, I'd probably give it an 8.8, 8.9, not quite a 9.
Yeah.
The only real complaint I have is that I would give the regular one closer to like a 9.5. Because, I mean, you got to leave space in there for the others, like Sip of Sunshine, stuff like that. But the only reason I give this one a little bit less is because, like I say, it depends on the difference of how you drink it. Had this one been sitting and settled, I probably would have gave it a 9, 9.5. But where it's different, I think rolled around and everything else, that grapefruit's just a lot stronger than what it would be if everything settled in the can.
Stir it up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I've sampled it with a couple different people, and they was it 2 different people now. They both told me it was good, but good to try, different stuff like that. But it's nothing they'd rush out and buy a rack of, because it's nothing that you want to drink more than a can to say you tried, or 2 cans say you tried it. But definitely not go out and buy a rack of 4 and drink them down. It's not.
Yeah.
Not that smooth a beer. Something to say it's seasonal. It's not around It's new, it's different. I tried it. Either I liked it and bought more, or I didn't like it. But either way, I ventured into trying it to see if it was something that I liked.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always encourage stuff like that because you never know until you actually broaden your horizons and try different stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And like you've had the regular sip of sunshine and the double sip, then you add grapefruit, and then you can kind of, you know what to expect with a sip of sunshine, the double sip, and then add grapefruit to it.
Yeah, and then you got the triple that only comes in a 12 ounce because that's what 10 or 12% or something like that.
Mm.
That neighborhood, and that's still got the citrus taste to it until you get about halfway into a sip, and then you start getting more of an alcohol taste because it's so strong.
Yeah, probably almost more malty, right? At
Yes.
that rate.
Yes.
And
I'm saying alcohol, but it is. You're right. It's more malty. It's just it gets hotter as you drink it, like a hot whiskey.
Yeah.
Or bourbon gets hotter that way. Like you can tell it's there.
Oh yeah.
But matter of fact, the TikTok video I did yesterday, that one I did with the comparison of the two different vocal bangers. That's the same way. One was fresh and good and everything else, and the other one was the 5-year-old one and the malts and everything else, and had built up in it, so you've got no more citrus type flavor to it anymore, regardless of what type of citrus and was it? Yeah, they had citrus and mosaic hops in that. And with the malts being British, you wouldn't think you'd know anything about malts being there anyway, because the hops give you most of the flavor in the fresh one. But that 5, 6-year-old one, that one there, you take a sip of that one and there's a burn on it. Like it could almost fool you into thinking that it might have actually fermented and that it's harder alcohol than it is, because that is just horribly strong for what it is.
Hmm. So
that'll be double sunshine, like I say. That's from the great people up there to Lawson's in Wakefield, Vermont, and they have a awesome guest area up there, reminiscent of ski getaway up there. They got outdoor fire pits, a huge merchandise room, huge bar area. I think they have a game room attached of some sort. I think they've expanded it since I've been there last. We've been there.
Yep.
They've got tons of stuff on tap. They got some sorts of food. I don't know if I think they might change the menu now. Before it was appetizers like cheese platters, pretzels,
and
they had a couple other things that they were doing up there at the time, but I think they may have expanded that now. And like I say, they got a huge beer menu. It's all on tap, and you'll get stuff up there that you won't get on the streets. And you'll get to check out all sorts of stuff, new and upcoming stuff, which he'll be talking about the new upcoming stuff very soon.
Yep. We got something pretty special coming, actually.
We get early release on a special beer, so that'll be coming up probably tomorrow.
Yep, that'll be tomorrow. Yeah.
We have a TikTok page set up. Go check that out. It'll be under the same name as this is under, along with us getting ready to start Spotify, and we'll have a Facebook page. There's technical difficulties with that right now, but when that gets straightened out here in a week or two, we'll have that up and going, and we'll be able to post on there what's coming up, and then we'll post some links to the videos.
Absolutely.
So, anything else you'd like to say, good sir?
Well, as the weather is getting warmer, we're also gonna do a lot more. We're gonna go on some trips and different things, some hop farms, look at, good practices that these breweries are doing and really put a spotlight on that. How they're a steward of the land, so to speak. You know, it might be solar power. It might be, you know, their spent grain. You know, they might give to a local farm. Stuff like that. So pretty interesting things coming up.
Not to cut in on you, but the other thing we're looking to try to do is interviews with people there in the industry outside of hop farms and stuff like that to get an idea of their input and output on where the industry's going, because we're big into craft beer and we want to make sure that, you know, the little guys that deserve the attention are getting the attention. And, you know, you got Budweiser and Natty Ice and all them guys. They're just pretty much piss water in a can that's countrywide, and there's no flavor to it. It's cheap. And I mean, the guy is going to buy a 30 rack because he wants to get hammered drinking 40 of them things a night, along with the ones between the 30 rack and the, you know, 5'10" tall boys he's got in between the console drinking on the way home. You know, you can spend that money, but you know, after a while you're getting immune to it because it's got no alcohol in it and it's got no flavor. And you get something like Colt 45 and you're dumping salt in it just to give some flavor. Then what's the use when you can get something like this, something like that, and you know, may not be that you're getting $30 or 30 beers for the same price. You're getting 4, maybe sometimes they sell 6, or depending on the distillery or brewery or whatever you want to call it. But the difference is that you're getting higher alcohol content, which is nothing to brag about, but you're getting more for less. And you're also getting more flavor. You're not just getting the same old bland garbage like Heineken. I know for me, Heineken will give me a nasty aftertaste I can't get rid of for days.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, just stuff like that. You know, why shouldn't the little guy get attention when the big guy's making all this money because they sell a 30 rack for, you know, $21?
Yep, absolutely.
So $17, $18, 4 of these will get you where you're going the same way them will. And you won't use the bathroom as much. And you'll actually enjoy drinking it.
Also like to kind of throw in, I'm not sure how many people saw this glass here, Littletown Brews out of Littleton, New Hampshire. This is where I get much of my craft brews. And what we're going to be talking about tomorrow with this new release, I was gratefully given a can. There will be no label on it, of a new and upcoming product. So I just want to give a shout out to them. They, excellent folks up there, the Littletown Brews.
Perfect. So in closing notes, this is how we're doing it. We'll give you some reviews, let you know what we think, maybe bring out some outside people, but this could be pretty fun, so stick around, enjoy. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, check out our TikTok. Like I say, Facebook's coming up, all that stuff. You miss anything, we'll have a Spotify up with everything that comes off this page, possibly extras, all sorts of stuff. So you guys have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.